John's going to go again. As you can see, he's a high-energy guy. John has formed a company based on his own inventions outside of Goldsmith Harbor Laboratory, which was too exciting to keep off the stage today. So we're going to let John talk about Wilson Advanced Research.
So, thank you. First, thanks to Neil, he invited this. I was only going to present Goldsmith Harbor stuff. The hat is now Wilson Advanced Research. I present to you as Dr. John Wilson, founder of Wilson Advanced Research Products, or WARP. So, to understand WARP, you have to know something about me. You've heard a little bit. Well, unfortunately, I walk through life, fortunately or unfortunately, I walk through life unintentionally and completely automatically seeing a problem and identifying a solution. If I don't know the solution, I fall asleep and I wake up from a dream having thought about it, which is terrible for sleep, but you just kind of got to capitalize on what you got. And while I don't sleep a lot, it has resulted in a multitude of solutions to a wide variety of fields, including consumer products, materials, energy, education, all over the map. Got to focus though, so I focus on consumer products, which is what you'll see today. What binds these products together is that they are real solutions, reliable solutions to real problems you encounter every day. They are well thought out, they make no compromises, and no shortcuts, which leads to the tagline, think smarter. I basically can't design them any better. The first consumer product targets your home's worst biohazard. It is your kitchen sponge. So who knew that your kitchen sponge is 200,000 times dirtier than toilet seat? All right? So, and if you think yours is clean and new, 25% of sponges that appear new or clean are failures. And so what does this do? You put your home's worst biohazard on the surfaces you eat from and prepare food on. Well, you get 1 out of 6 Americans getting food poisoning every day with a substantial loss of life, and this is a substantial cost. That's about half of the diabetes cost. That's not small. This is not surprising to me, because current antibacterial sponges are toxic. That's why they say don't use on fish aquarium. They are ineffective because I tested them, or both. And 50% of sponges harbor medically serious pathogens, including Salmonella, E. coli, Listeria, Campylobacter, all sorts of stuff. Nasties. The WARP Think Smarter solution to this is Protect. This is your sponge, and this is my sponge. I invented Protect to protect my family. This is real, so when you go home, look at your sponge as the biohazard that it is. This is not a joke, like, this is nasty. Okay, how does Protect work? It harnesses the power of copper and a patent-pending technology, and copper will kill bacteria, mold, fungi, and viruses. It is non-toxic, think your copper pipes. It is environmentally friendly. You can eat this if you want. It does not require a change in consumer behavior or durability. It does not change sponge durability. In terms of technology and manufacturing, this is patented pending with utility, composition of matter, and method of manufacture patents. Additional products and R&D are ongoing, and I've located a strategic partner, a sponge manufacturer, with a current capacity exceeding 100,000 units per month. They have distribution channels in place, they do packaging, and they do package design, and the total cost per unit is low. How about the market size? All right, the U.S. has 116 million households. Almost all of them have sponges. The Market Watch newsletter says that 38% of people per year replace their sponge. That seems to be really low, 2 out of 5. And then you basically multiply those together, set the price point at the high end of a typical sponge purchase, and you end up with a market in excess of 200 million. Competition, no equivalent to Protect sponges exists on the market right now. There is a company which makes pillow cases and sheets. You can just use a copper scrubber. There are silver products, but I encountered substantial consumer skepticism when I looked at it. Or you can religiously microwave your sponge before and after every use, and I'm sure nobody here does that. Getting to market. I see 2 ways to get to market. First, license to some well-established companies. Or second, go direct to market. I favor this one. Why? Because I see myself as a PhD, Billy Mays type of guy with a solution for all of your problems, from your family's health and safety to weight loss, for which I have 3 separate attacks. Only one requires FDA approval. To autism, which is a current area of my research. If we go to market, women, the number cited is they control about 80% of household spending. This has particularly large emotional appeal and health appeal. They will receive special attention. Distribution will be online and through brick and mortar. Financial projections. This product, for better or worse, requires consumer education. Price elasticity of sponge purchases is high, so I do not expect things are going to be flying off the shelf. However, by year 5, I expect that we'll be able to reach at least 10% of that market. for sales of around 25 million, and that's probably higher. I am here looking for people in terms of management. So, I said a large variety of fields. As an undergrad, I did biochemistry, biobusiness, international relations, German chemistry, and business. I did, as part of my PhD, microbial pathogenesis, thus bacteria. I told you already that I was in a biotech startup. To quote Neil, he tried to take this out, but this is a quote from Neil. Found in a real-life solutions, fair enough. I can't turn it off, so I might as well use it. And, yeah. Financing, somewhere around 2 million. I want to start with independent testing because the key to this brand is consumer trust, reliability, and consumer confidence. You can read the rest of the numbers. We need some inventory. Marketing and branding will be the highest cost. And, yeah, I want to pay my friends at Tannenbaum who have, for free, worked on patents for me. Exit strategy, one of two ways. You either sell out the product or license it, or you continue to manufacture and just outsource everything. And, with that, I leave you with 2 points. 2 points. When you go home, remember your sponge is really a biohazard. That's not cake. Oh, we just lost it. Well. Second, protect your family and use CopperTech. Yes, that was my third daughter. She's 4 months old, and I can chew on this. She can chew on this. It's completely sterile. Yeah.
What's the lifespan of that sponge?
Just as long as normal sponge. Meaning, you know, they degrade, you throw them out.
Does the technology have other applications, such as, for example, wound healing or something?
Yes, but wound healing IP is like wrapped up tight, so that's out. And also that requires FDA approval. There's a reason that these products don't require FDA approval. If you want to go fast, FDA is just not the way to go. No other questions?
Is it coating on the sponge, or it's
It's a patent pending technology harnessing the power of cotton. I have composition of matter, patent pending, and I have method of manufacture, patent pending, and utility. And kit, yes, go ahead.
Is this only a solid, or could this be put in a form that could be incorporated in dish detergent?
You wouldn't want to do that. You could, but you wouldn't want to do that because copper release is one of the toxins. This is solid. You can make it liquid, that's not a good idea. Environmentally speaking, and remember, socially, commercially responsible. To me, that would be, off the table.
My lawyer friends tell me that you always need to put a noun after something that has a TM or an R, so.
I'll look into that.
Sponge.
Can you use this on non-stick pans and pots?
I have a family, and there's a very large reason that I use metal, ceramic, and glass, and all of my metal is not non-stick, and there's a reason for that. You could probably incorporate this into non-stick. I would recommend you throw out all of your non-stick stuff, and I can tell you why, but that's my recommendation. And it's not without substantial research.
why?
Okay, non-stick surfaces are typically perifluoro derivatives, and they come off with some release. If you look at the biological effect of these, they accumulate in the body in fats, and they have disturbing effects on children's development. And yeah, my wife is actually a PhD neurodevelopmental biologist from Stanford, and when we started having kids, we started looking at all of these environmental insults, and I looked at it, I'm like, ooh, this is kind of scary. I handed it to her, and she's like, ooh, this is scary, so we stripped out a lot of the stuff that people usually use.
Is there any environmental consequence to disposing of sponges if they contain
No.
copper?
No, not unless like you have a billion sponges, then there would be.
Okay, well, John, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Immediately after the conclusion of the event today, there's going to be a little auction out in the lobby area out there. You can all bid on little pieces of John's brain. At this point, I'd like to invite up our panelists to join us on stage. Okay, well, to my immediate left is Larry Chayton of White Marsh Capital Advisors. Larry is a healthcare investment banker with over 16 years of healthcare life science advisory experience. He's provided guidance to senior executive and management at companies like Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, Bayer Pharma, Merck, and Bristol Myers Squibb, among others, in strategic planning and product acquisition and divestiture. He is currently the senior managing director and global head of healthcare investment banking of White Marsh Capital Advisors, LLC, and is also in the process of raising his own buy-side fund. To Larry's left is Steve Winnick of Topspin Partners. Steve came to Topspin from Honeywell International, where he most recently served as CIO of its $2 billion security group. He had been with Honeywell for over 21 years as CTO of the security business, as well as founder and president of its wireless communications services business. To Steve's left is Greg Blake, who founded Brocare Partners in 2004 with a focus on providing advisory services to healthcare companies on a variety of merger and acquisition, financing, and strategic matters. Greg also manages the firm's relationships with its international affiliates and regularly spends time meeting with healthcare businesses in Europe, Japan, India, and Brazil. On the end is Scott Livingston of Livingston Securities. Scott has been working with emerging technologies at Wall Street firms for over 18 years and has specialized in nanotechnology since 2002. He's been a keynote speaker on advanced technology investment trends at MIT, Brookhaven National Laboratory, Hillary Clinton's Jobs for New York, the U.S. Congress Nanotechnology Caucus, and the U.S. Congress High Tech Caucus, to name a few. In addition, Scott is also the creator of the annual Livingston Nanotechnology Conference, Wall Street's largest annual nanotech investor conference. So I'd like to start this morning by just asking Steve in particular, because we know and we've heard that Topspin has a history of investing in companies developed at Cold Spring Harbor Lab. Steve, can you describe for us a little bit your experience and Topspin's experience in investing in companies that have come out of Cold Spring Harbor Lab?
Sure. Well, our relationship goes back before Topspin in working with the lab in some of the scientists there, Mike Googler in particular, that John mentioned, and more recently, a company called Miramis and another one called Cetera. Miramis makes RNAi knockdown mice, basically mice that you can take a particular gene and switch it on and off for doing testing. And Cetera does mouse brain imaging for predicting responses to drugs, ultimately in humans, to be able to compare what regions of the brain are involved in a particular drug's reactions. We enjoy working with as you can probably tell from the presentations, the science that comes out of Cold Spring Harbor is second to none. So the opportunity to work in companies to help commercialize things that come out of the lab is usually very exciting. And the scientists are typically the highest caliber, and when you're investing in early stage science, you're much investing in the people as you are in the science. It's always very hard to diligence the science, but you can diligence the people. And if you have faith in the people, then you have a basis for moving forward. And that's always been the case with the people that have come out of the lab. And the lab is very involved in promoting what's necessary in terms of the relationships and starting off a company. When you start with a scientist's idea, you have a way to go before you have a company, and employees, and a business plan. And the lab is always looking to foster that. And in our relationships, we've tried to help that along by being a patient partner, understanding that it takes a while to take science out of the lab and make it real in the commercial space.
So